The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. The Knicks survived this afternoon in Charlotte. Deuce McBride, big game off the bench. Here he is in the fourth quarter. He had 14 points in the game. And Jalen Brunson scored 11 of the Knicks' final 15 points over the final 5 minutes of the game. Brunson, 11 in the fourth quarter total, 31 for the game, and the Knicks prevailed 99-98. So what's it mean in the Emirates NBA Cup? Well, the Knicks are 3-0. Regardless of what happens to anybody else today and tonight, if the Knicks beat Orlando at home Tuesday, they will lock up the top spot in Group A and advance to the quarterfinals. They will host Orlando at MSG on Tuesday. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pidto, along with Wally Szczerbiak. So the storyline coming in, Hornets shorthanded, no LaMelo Ball. Could the Knicks get off to a better start than they did against Dallas? The answer was no. Again, a 15-point first quarter for the Knicks like it was against the Mavs on Wednesday night. But this time, the Knicks were able to prevail in crunch time.
It's all that matters. Just win, baby. Get a win ugly, however you need to get it. That's a big win in the NBA Cup. Now you're 3-0. No, it was not a good start. The starts are alarming, but it's a 48-minute game for a reason. You don't win the game in the first quarter. The Knicks had the better players down the stretch. Jalen Brunson, 11 in the last 15, like you mentioned. The Knicks came away with a 3-2 road trip. This is the beauty of professional basketball. That team over there, the Hornets, every player was playing for their lives, their
careers. There's something to be said for this, Wally.
KJ Simpson hasn't played at all. He's a rookie. He averaged 20 points a game back at Colorado last year. His team made the Sweet 16. He got a chance to get meaningful NBA minutes, and he played his butt off today. He played outstanding. That's what the Knicks are going to have to be prepared that's going to happen against them, because teams are going to try to come at the Knicks because the Knicks have so many expectations.
I think one thing we overlook, or at least I do, is when a team is shorthanded, missing their top players, you forget about what the impact might be on the guys that you're talking about getting a chance, trying to make a point, and playing with maximum effort. That's a big factor in these games that I think we overlook a lot.
You do overlook it a lot. At the same time, when you are the better player and all you have to do is match that effort, you have to make sure you come away with the win. That's why I was so surprised that the Knicks didn't get the win against Dallas. This game, the Knicks had to figure out a way in the fourth quarter, when everything is tighter, when the defense is, everyone's playing tougher defense, every possession is nip and tuck. That's when it's time for the better players to make sure they win the game, and that's exactly what the Knicks did.
That's what Jalen Brunson did in particular with the 11 points in the final 5 minutes. Take us through the fourth quarter. Knicks actually closed the game on a 20-8 run.
Yeah, well, they finally got the lead in the fourth quarter. They grit and grinded their way on the defensive end of the floor. Brunson hits that pull-up. Now it's a tie game. Finally, the Knicks get it tied. And you got to understand, the Hornets, they got a mishmash of guys. So they're going to make some boneheaded plays. McBride with the steal and dunk. Knicks finally get the lead. How about the crowd? Allen acknowledged that the crowd was going nuts down there at MSG South. Jalen Brunson, big bucket after it was a 2-point game, so now it's a 4-point game. How about Josh Green not going away? He knocks down that big three, cuts it back to 2. But then Jalen Brunson getting in the paint. He's the closer. You knew where the ball was going at the end of the game. He knocks down that shot. Josh Hart, nice little misdirection, zipper cut, gets the layup, 6-point game. But the Knicks still allowed the Hornets to get back in it. And one by Diabate. That cut that lead to 4. And then here Cody Martin misses that big three. Big rebound from Brunson, and they were able to kind of secure the game after that. Listen, the Hornets came up with maximum effort. Charles Lee had his guys playing. Not a pretty box score, but it is a W in the win column.
Knicks won the rebounding battle, but 21 turnovers for the Knicks, a season high, and yet they are able to win anyway, 99-98. We say hello to Monica McNutt. She helped call the game on ESPN New York, the radio call. Monica, what did you see from your vantage point this afternoon?
A team that's ready to go home, for one. But two, the 31 points off of turnovers, ooh, yuck. That was not something that you want to take any sort of pride in, and you certainly don't want to duplicate it. But I got to give a tip of the cap to this Hornet squad. These are young guys that are seeing big-time minutes due to all of the injuries. Charles Lee and company, those guys really, really fought, and the depth actually surprised me. But ultimately, I thought in the fourth quarter, you saw the veteran experience of the Knicks, in particular, Jalen Brunson, be the difference maker.
Monica, who on the Knicks do you think stepped up in the second half and the fourth quarter to bring that defensive mindset that they needed to close this game out and get the win?
So I think Wally, an unsung hero in this one, for me, I got 3. Josh Hart. Then I think I would go Deuce McBride and Cameron Payne. Deuce McBride hit the basket after Jalen Brunson gave this team, I believe, a 3-point lead at 88-85, and that was obviously huge. But I thought the defensive tenacity that McBride brought helped this team to find defense and be able to stand up when this game entered into crunch time late. And so we saw a slight shift in the pace, but ultimately it was really the captain, JB, that got it done with those 11 points.
You know, we pointed this out. It's worth repeating. If the Knicks beat Orlando here Tuesday night, the Knicks win their group in the Emirates NBA Cup, and they are a lock for the quarterfinals.
Y'all know I'm big on deposits toward winning, right? Yes, the NBA Cup is not the Larry O'Brien, but it's an opportunity for this team to go out, compete, possibly win together, add big-time deposits in terms of that trust bank. Interestingly enough, Josh Hart said to us postgame on our radio interview on ESPN 880, he said that the offense is kind of like not clicking, and so they need to find their rhythm. So the more opportunities you have to play when the stakes are high, the more depth you are able to develop in your trust.
All right, Monica, have a great trip home. Welcome home when you get here. We'll see you on Sunday, okay?
Oh, I don't want to see you, Peter. I want to go to my house. I don't want to be bothered. Leave me alone. I'll see you at the game.
Wait, you just said you don't want to see me?
No, I want to go home. I'm done. I need a break.
Okay.
I've been on the road for 11 days,
right,
Bill.
Well, maybe I'll
Thank
cheer
you,
up.
Wally.
Maybe I'll cheer up. Have a great trip home.
All right, y'all.
All right. Jalen Brunson asserted himself. He won this game for the Knicks.
Yeah.
They were struggling. 5 minutes to go. My game to win. Scored 11 points in the final 5 minutes.
That's why he's a superstar. Like, he is the guy. He's the captain for that reason. There are going to be games where he doesn't come through, but most of the time you're going to have the ball in his hands and you're going to trust his decision-making and his shot-making ability and skills. He just has a will to win. He doesn't get overwhelmed by the pressure in the moment, and he just made big plays to pull off a big win. I mean, you don't want to even think about the opposite if you didn't have Jalen Brunson on your roster to close the game the way he did and you lost this one. It would have been hairy, to say the least. But you do, and that's why you get the best players you can possibly get. You get guys that have winning in their blood and in their DNA, and Jalen Brunson certainly has it. 31-point performance in a tough, gritty game. He was on the floor probably more than any other player in this game. He matched the intensity, the effort, and the will of the Charlotte Hornets. Those guys came in, they played hard. They played like this was their last game they were going to get a chance to play in an NBA uniform. But the Knicks still came away with a win thanks to that effort by the captain.
Jalen Brunson, after the Dallas loss, said enough with the roller coaster. We have to not get too high, not get too low, get consistent. Do you get anything out of this as a team when you're able to win when you didn't play your best?
Yes. You held the team to 98 points. I don't care if they were undermanned. They're still NBA players over there. They're getting paid, just like you're getting paid. And it's not always going to be pretty. And these type of games, they build character for your team. They really do. This NBA Cup, now the Knicks are 3-0. It's a goal that you can strive to achieve as a team. I mean, it's added into the mix. If I was a player and I was looking at the NBA Cup, I'd be like, wow, we're 3-0 here. Let's go get this win at home against Orlando. Let's get into the semifinals in the East. It's going to be tough matchups, but these type of games are going to make us better for our ultimate goal, which is going to be winning an NBA championship, because they're going to be ratcheted up playoff-type atmospheres and games. So it's a good sign the way the Knicks are playing in this NBA Cup right now.
All right, so the Knicks finish up the road trip. It's tied for their longest road trip of the season at 5 games. They finished the road trip at 3-2. They're 3-0 in the Emirates NBA Cup, and now Tom Thibodeau's group is 11-8 overall in the season. We'll hear from the Knicks coach after this.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Knicks return home Sunday. They'll host the Pelicans. 5:30 pregame game at 6. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports app. Back now from the Wally Wall as the Knicks survive in Charlotte, 99-98. The difference, Jalen Brunson down the stretch, and the Knicks' execution down the stretch. You're going to have a couple of examples for us. Take us through Brunson on this sequence. Key play in the final 5 minutes.
Key play, outstanding screen by Josh Hart, and really good strategery by the coaching staff. Strategery, and setting up who's setting this screen. Josh Hart comes and sets a screen. Now, freeze it there. The reason why this screen worked is because Micic does not want to switch onto Jalen Brunson. They want to try to keep Josh Green on Jalen Brunson. So now you give Brunson a little bit of an advantage because Micic one-on-one would not be a good matchup with Jalen Brunson. As a result, Jalen's able to turn the corner. Just not much help there. Now he's got downhill. Freeze it there. Now the defense didn't want to come off Anunoby and give him an open three, so Brunson was able to get himself all the way to the basket and finish over the whole entire Charlotte Hornets defense. That was an outstanding job by the coaching staff identifying who should be setting this screen for Jalen Brunson so Jalen Brunson could get the advantage he needs to get to the basket and get to his left hand.
Brunson scored 11 of the Knicks' final 15 points. 2 that he didn't score was a bucket by Josh Hart, who had a great game with a double-double.
But he was involved in the play, and because of all the attention that Charlotte's paying to him, he was able to get Josh Hart an easy layup. And this is really fun. Now, anytime you're setting a screen in the NBA, I remember all players do it, you kind of put your fist up. And that means that you're the guy that's going to set the screen. Now, freeze it right there. See Jalen Brunson right here? He's got his fist up. This means I'm going to set a screen for you, Josh Hart. Come on up. He sets a zipper screen for him. It's a UCLA cut to the basket. And Karl Anthony Towns, he wants to get the ball to Brunson here, no question. But at the same time, if he sees Josh Hart come off this screen wide open and naked, he is going to give him the ball because he knows it's an easy layup. Look at this job by Jalen Brunson. Just setting that little bit of rub right there, gets Josh Hart the opening to the basket, easy layup in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go in the game. That's outstanding. Just playmaking by your offense, knowing that this is how the defense wants to guard us. This is what the defense wants to do, get the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands. So what do? They use Jalen as a decoy, sets a good screen, leads to an easy layup for Josh Hart.
Do you think Brunson and Hart called that play themselves, or do you think that came from the bench?
That play came by themselves. That's just knowing each other as a team and as teammates, and also being in that situation a lot as players over the years. At Villanova, they did it. With the Knicks, they're doing it. You just know how a team's guarding you, and you know how to steal some easy points, and that was great execution by those two guys.
All right, Hart, the key bucket there, 13 points and 12 rebounds. Cat, the assist, had 5 assists to go with his double-double. Tom Thibodeau's post-game comments now, presented by Chase.
In the Dallas game, we scored 76 points and shot 66%. I mean, the numbers tell you how good the offense is, right? The points per possession, we're number 1 in the league. You know, whatever rating you believe in, I've seen every rating. Some have a second, some have us first, right? So that tells you how good it is. We're high assists, we're low. Like right now, I know fatigue is a factor because we turned the ball over a lot today, and you know, like I said, the important thing was finding a way to win, and we went to the offensive boards, and we, you know, probably the difference in the game, we got 19 points, they had 18, we won by 1. So whatever it is we got to do at the end, that's what we have to do. And so the switching isn't anything new. Every team that we've played has switched. Most teams are switching 1 through 4. If you got a size at the point, you're switching 1 through 4. Some teams are going to switch 1 through 5. Usually every team has one big where you can do that. And so we've seen it all year. And that's why I say the body of work says what you are. The numbers say what you are.
Mikal, is there something, I know that sometimes you try to give guys easy points, and I think today was the first time he's been to the line in 8 games. Is that something troublesome you'd like to see?
No, I just want him to play his game. Take your shots. And Mikal is not a specialist. He's an all-around player. So he scores in transition, he scores on cuts, he scores off pick and roll, he scores off catch and shoot. Like, just keep moving, get some easy baskets. Your rhythm's going to come, and the more you play with each guy on the team, they're going to get chemistry. They'll get going. So, let the game tell you what to do. But in the meantime, do other things. Play great defense. Hit the open man, cut hard. Like, he had a couple of great cuts that led to wide open threes. Like 2 guys went with the cutter and 1 guy's wide open. So, help the team in whatever way you can. Prioritize the team. And every guy's going to go through things throughout the course of the season. That's part of it. But I like the resolve that he's showing, the fight. Like I said, the body of work says who he is.
Was the fourth quarter with Jalen just a matter of what Jalen does, kind of taking the game in his own hands?
Yeah, and again, the same thing. With Jalen, I felt like, he's going to find a way, just keep working. I thought Josh made a number of hustle. We were stuck in mud, and then like a couple hustle plays gets you going, gets everyone going, and I think that gets your team going, And so if you're stuck, hustle makes up for a lot, And I thought once we got that, I thought our ball pressure in the second half was a lot better, right? And I thought that helped us. It gave us energy.
All right, Knicks return home Sunday to host the Pelicans. Pre-game 5:30, game at 6. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports app. Josh Hart, 13 points, 12 rebounds as the Knicks beat Charlotte today by 1. Here's Hart now after the game.
Shannon.
What's up?
Josh, obviously a long road trip. Is this kind of one of those days where it's just grind it out, find a way to win?
Yeah, for sure. Outside looking in, you always just, obviously they got some guys, key guys out, and they think, it's supposed to be an easy 40-point game. That's not how the NBA works. That's a good team with good young guys, early start, and then when you have, guys are out and guys get shots, they go out there and be aggressive, and they got nothing to lose. So sometimes that's the toughest game. So we're happy to come out with a W, and the road trip, long road trip, with a win, and then keep it moving.
How do you assess the overall road trip? What are your thoughts?
Pretty subpar. I think we were 3-2, but I think we kind of at least gave one away. Obviously, y'all can pick which one that is, but I feel like we could have been a little better, but at the end of the day, being 3-2 on the road, we'll take that, and now we got a couple games at home.
Coach talks about sometimes a team could be like stuck in mud and it takes like a hustle play to kind of get them out. He credited you with that today. Is that something that you see when a little hustle play can kind of turn the team's fortune? Yeah,
for sure. Games like this, it's about a team that hustles, that's physical, and sometimes, a lot of times that team wins. So that's what I just try to go out there and do, and let everything else kind of figure it out.
You've been really supportive of Mikal and said, hey, don't worry about his struggle. But, do you think that expectations are getting to him a little bit? What do you think of how he's handled this situation?
I know him. I know he's not worried about it. I'm not worried about him. I think I'm not calling you out specifically or whoever, but the media and people are killing him, and he's in a new situation. He's in a new situation where he's in a place where he's been 18 games in a different role that he's played in the last 4 years. So it's our job to get him going, and all the other BS about what we gave up, this, that, and the other, it means nothing. If we win and we make a championship, ain't nobody give a damn about how many picks we give up. We can give up 15 picks. It don't matter. At the end of the day, we're trying to win a championship. He's going to be a key piece of that, and we need to continue to build him up. If you go out there and nitpick everything that he does, that's only detriment to him. And, we're all going to have a conversation with that. We got to get him going, and that's when we'll get the best version of Kel. And there's 18 games of the season. He's a hell of a player. He's been to the finals. He knows how to win. So, we can calm down with all the criticism and nitpicking a guy who's won, every time he stepped on the court in any situation. And, a lot of people that can't do what he does.
Back now from the corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Wally Bridges in this game 3 for 10. Did score 20 against Dallas the other night, but in this game a minus 14.
I love what Josh said. I am not concerned at all about Mikal Bridges. Look at his career. Just keep him healthy. He's going to be a big piece to this team. He's struggling a little bit. It's hard going to a new team. He's got a new role with new pieces and a new identity he's got to forge, and he's going to be fine.
Hart, by the way, led the Knicks in playing time today, over 41 minutes of action on the court. We will take a look ahead when we come back after this. Okay, so here's what's ahead after the Knicks' 5-game road trip. Home for 4 in a row, beginning Sunday against the Pelicans. The Magic game, very well, will decide the top spot in Group A for the NBA Cup. If the Knicks win, they will lock up the top spot and make the quarterfinals. Hornets Thursday, they'll play the Hornets again, and then Detroit next Saturday. We'll wrap things up after this. Wrapping up the post-game show, a reminder again that Sunday night on MSG, Knicks back home to host New Orleans. Pre-game at 5:30, game at 6. You can stream our coverage on MSG Plus now in the Gotham Sports app.